Hello, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Caesar Cipher using the Python programming language. And if you look at the Wikipedia page of the Caesar Cipher encryption or algorithm, it's going to tell you that it's one of the simplest and most widely used encryption technique. It's a type of substitution cipher in which letters are substituted for other letters within the alphabet depending on the number of shifts you've selected. That's to say that if you selected a single shift and you have the letter A, it's going to move it's going to move one step forward and it's going to substitute the letter A for the letter B. And if you were to decrypt that text that you entered and you selected the letter B, it's going to move one step backward and substitute the letter B for the letter A. That's basically how the Caesar cipher works. So we're going to be creating a program using the Python programming language that's going to implement the Caesar cipher algorithm. So let's head over back to our code editor and get started. So right here in the code editor, we have a file called caesar.py, and the caesar.py file is basically going to be used to house the entire script of this tutorial. So let's minimize the left explorer and get started. Let me make the text a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm typing out. So first we need to import the string module. And from the string module, we're going to create an alphabet variable. And we're going to call string.ascii lowercase. Next, we repeat the ASCII lowercase. The reason for this is to allow for the maximum number of shifts, is going to be 25, to be accommodated on each of the letters. So next we need to do is declare a sentence variable and create a list with an input that says enter your text. It's going to be responsible for holding the text that needs to be encrypted or decrypted. Then go down and say what to do, and you want to encrypt. Going to say input enter encrypt to encrypt, so decrypt to decrypt, and exit to exit. Yeah, that's basically it. Program. New line. Move that in. Okay, go down and say dot lower. Let's make this a little bit cleaner. Move to a new line here. Number of shift we want. Shift number is going to be equal to int. Let's say input. Let's say enter your shift number from 1 to 25. If you've been following along in our previous tutorials, you would know how to limit the number of shifts. I'm going to leave that out as an assignment. If you can't figure out how to do that, you can check out the previous tutorials to figure out how to ensure that the shift characters fall within the number 1 and 25. So we're going to declare another variable called end program. It's going to be given the boolean value of false. It's going to keep track of the program, and the program is going to continue to run until the end program is having a boolean value of true. So we're going to say while not end program, we're going to say okay, we're going to search. First is to search through the entered text. Through the entered text. So how do we do that? We'll say if what to do is equal to encrypt. Then we're going to say for I in range, the sentence that was entered, we're going to say length. We're going to check the length of the sentence. That the length of the sentence is going to tell us how long we need the for loop to run. So we're going to say for I in range, the length of the sentence that the user wants to encrypt. So next we need to get the position of each character within the sentence. Yeah, I think that's good. So do that. We're going to say if sentence the value of I. Now I is going to hold a specific number, and that number is going to be used to identify each of the characters within the list. So if I send a value of I, want to check if it's a wild space or an empty space. So that's the space bar was used. We're going to replace sentence the letter that exists in that position where I exist. We're going to replace it with the value of an empty string to keep it there. And say else. We're going to say new letter. We're going to give it the alphabet.index. We're going to get the alphabet.index of sentence. We're going to get from the alphabet variable. So basically, the new letter now is going to be equal to alphabet.index, and we're going to get the sentence value. So let's assume now the sentence value is housed within 1. We're going to go into the alphabet and pick up the letter that has the same sentence value or the same value as within the alphabet, and we're going to add it to the numerical index value, and we're going to add it to the shift number to get the new position of the new letter. So now we're going to say the sentence. We will now take the value, the previous sentence where that value exists, and replace it with the new value gotten from the alphabet. And we need to convert this back to string. We're going to say, let's say we could say convert the list back to a string. We've done this several times in our previous tutorials. I'm not going to spend so much time explaining. I'm going to try to explain it. And to convert it back, we're going to say print. Okay, so we have the join map str sentence. Okay. I'm going to say end program equal to true. It is wrongly indented, so move it over here. It's supposed to be under the within the if statement. And all this is what is going to execute if the letter if encryption is selected. So let's go ahead and handle the decryption section of the script. So for the decryption, we say L if what to do is equal to decrypt. We're going to say for I in range length sentence, I'm going to say if sentence bracket of I, but basically repeating this. We'll say if sentence bracket of I equals to this. We'll just copy that and paste this here. I'll say else. We'll say we'll copy this out. And but rather than add, we're going to minus. We're going to move backwards. So that's basically just it. Then we'll move over here and say this. Also save that. Okay, so it's supposed to be. Let's notice that it's supposed to be the index doesn't plus this, so that's also here. That's wrong. Yeah, yes. So that's how it's supposed to be. So we're basically doing the same. So we'll go ahead and convert the list back to a string, and that's basically that's it. Yeah, we save that. Yeah, so now for the if statement, we're going to say, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see what I'm talking about. So the elif basically ends here. Let's say, okay, outside the elif, so we need to say else decide. So now we basically given the opportunity to either enter the encrypt or decrypt keyword. So if the user enters any word that is different from the encrypt or decrypt, they're going to say input, say invalid entry, try again, Y for yes, N for no, but lower. They'll say if the site is equal to, if the user enters a value that is neither decrypt or encrypt, it's going to tell the user to try again that the entry was invalid, and you can now decide on what you want to do. If you want to try again, so if you decide to try again, it's going to go back and say, come over here, copy this out, copy all this out. We're going to repeat this again. Let's zoom that out a little bit so we can see everything. Okay, we're also going to need the shift number. So also get that from up here. I just want to go about typing all this out again. It's basically the same thing. The shift number. We'll say else and program equals to true. That's all we need to do. So you can actually take time out and make adjustments to the script, add a little bit of more functions. This is just a brief example of how the Caesar Cipher actually works. So you're free to make changes, make it a little bit more elaborate and all that. So let's run our program and see how it goes. Expand this and say Python Caesar.py seed media stitching encrypt. I'll just say 10. What's the problem? It says okay, line 25. There's an error in line 25. Let's just go over here. Let's minimize this. Line 25. What do we have here? It says name join is not defined. Yeah, line 25. So it's supposed to be. Yeah, so it's supposed to be. Let me make that mistake in the other place again. I think it exists somewhere else. Yeah, so it was here too. Yeah. So let's run that and see. Seed media stitching encrypt 10. Yeah, I will get moon wanzamki sh or whatever that means. So let's copy that out and decrypt now. Enter the text. We enter the text that got as the encryption. So let's expand the screen. We're going to say decrypt and let's get 10. And it goes back to seed media stitch. That's basically how the Caesar Cipher works. It's actually a very fun project. You can actually take out time and go through the entire Wikipedia page if you want to see the arithmetic behind the idea of the Caesar Cipher, history behind it, where it all started and all that. You can take time out and go through it. So it's going to be the last of our beginners Python fun project. We can go ahead and update our README file. Number 5, let's say Caesar Cipher, right? Git add to connect Caesar Cipher. The upcoming tutorial is going to cover more intermediate concepts like object-oriented programming, a little bit of GUI, and we're going to go into the point where we're going to do a little bit of web applications. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, don't miss out on any of our updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.